You watching the Unnamed Sports Show.
What's up, it's your man No Malice, and you are checking out Gorilla Cross Radio. Speak life.
Broadcasting live from downtown Las Vegas, you're tuned in to Gorilla Cross Radio.
Yo, you tuned in to Gorilla Cross Radio.
Yeah, I'm on my weird way. Get it like Toby. You on my way, don't get cozy. Give me my trophy. Yeah, I had to pray. I had to kill off the old me. Yeah, had to focus a lot. I'ma shoot my shot, Kobe. Yeah, I'm on my weird way. Get it like Toby. You on my way, don't get cozy. Give me my trophies. Yeah, I had to pray. I had to kill off the old me. Yeah, had to focus a lot. I'ma shoot my shot, Kobe. Yeah, killing my verses, living my purpose. Yeah, killing my burdens, giving my service. Yeah, I had to pray. I had to kill off the old me. Yeah, had to focus a lot. I'ma shoot my shot, Kobe.
Yo, what's up, and welcome to another episode of Unnamed Sports Show right here on Gorilla Cross Radio, streaming live on GorillaCross.com and the Gorilla Cross app and all of our social media platforms. Make sure you follow us at Gorilla Cross everywhere. I'm your host, Quan59, and I got my man just in time, Josh Williams, feeling good.
Feeling great. How are you? Good weekend, man. Good weekend. You see the shirt. I might not be happy with everything my team does, but Cowboys week is always still a good time to get a victory.
The unnamed team won. The Iron did not.
That's right. That's right.
We will talk about that. His team that will remain unnamed for at least another season.
Don't say that. Let's stop that train.
Oh, that's
what they're saying.
That's happening. But they did beat a rival, which everyone loved. And another one of their quarterbacks died. So we'll talk about that.
Literally.
And a lot of, it was a good weekend, man. My team went all the way to New England and ended a quarterback. He might not have a job anymore. He's actually afraid of that. We'll talk about that. Got Steve Huff in the building in Hollywood. What up?
What up? It's good to be here, not in the dust storm.
There it is.
Surviving the apocalypse.
You don't want to be dusty roads.
No, I don't want to end up like the mummy. Who knows what'll come out of that dust, man?
That was pretty good.
Dust storm spin
I was trying to find it for you, and I was like, he came with a pretty good one. That was pretty good.
When that dust settles, you don't know it might be out there, man.
All right, Steve works outside, so that's where the hilarity is going right now. We are here. Listen, man, we have a lot to talk about in the NFL, Major League Baseball. We'll talk about baseball a little bit. Cream is not here, but we're going to keep his name tag up there just in case he shows up. You never know.
It's 50-50 with Cream.
Here's the thing with Cream. He's so adamant about not being late. He says, I'm never late. I never have excuses. But here's the thing. So he'd rather just not show up than be late to prove his point.
Makes sense.
We're gonna win the argument. You're up until you get here.
Yeah.
We can timestamp this thing. Come
doesn't-
back like you came in at the 17-minute mark.
You know.
We held off as long as we could.
Listen, if you guys could do us all a favor, share the live video stream with your people. We'd appreciate that. Help spread the word. We are here live every Monday, 1-ish p.m. West Coast time, and every Thursday, 1-ish p.m. West Coast time. We have a lot in store for you. UFC news. Your boy Khabib retired. We're going to talk about that in a little bit as well.
Yep.
And go over a lot of games in the NFL. There were some great games this weekend in the NFL. The afternoon games weren't that good. Most of them were blowouts. I think there was one close game. But almost all the morning games were really good.
The
and
Chargers,
then the night
the Chargers
game was really
game.
good.
The Chargers,
that's the only one that was good.
that was the only one. That
Yeah.
one was back and forth up until Herbert finally just said no.
Yeah.
It was like
Willie Beam.
Herbert is a problem, bro.
That's Willie Beamer, bro.
He's out here
Tell
dropping
me.
dimes
Yeah.
on people on go routes.
Hey, I'm rooting for him.
I am too. I
am.
want to see the Chargers be good. They're in a beautiful stadium. You don't want to be trashed in a new stadium.
Yeah.
It's not right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you. All right, let's jump into some UFC first. Early UFC fight, man. It messed up all the UFC parties.
Yeah, it's a little hard having a midday kegger. That's you might be a bit of an alcoholic.
You're
if
not inviting
drinking.
your friends over at 11 a.m. to watch the fight. I mean, it's, not doing that. But it was an early fight because it was in Abu Dhabi and Khabib was fighting. So they wanted to, do it for that market.
Yeah.
There we go. Turn on audio. What do you guys think, man? Gaethje really didn't look good at all in there.
He said he had some moments. I struggled finding them.
Man, listen.
I don't think he had any moments at all.
Nothing
There
like
wasn't-
the fight versus Ferguson.
Well, I mean,
At all.
that fight lasted. He was running the whole time. Even when he would swing and run.
Yeah.
Because he was scared to get taken down. So
Yeah.
I think that's what Khabib does to people, though. You can't fight your fight against Khabib.
And if his stand up is decent, then now I'm on guard at all times.
I mean,
and that's
speaking
not
of stand up, the dude had broken toes.
cool. Who did?
Habib.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Didn't he just break his foot or something like a couple months ago or like
Oh, no, I didn't hear-
not that long ago? Yeah, he had
wow.
That's what like he was retiring. So the first thing I read about him retiring, and it was saying he won this fight and he had just suffered like broken foot or something like that,
Yeah.
or toes or something like that. And I'm thinking, why is he retiring? I remember his dad passed away.
Yeah.
Like the dude had a bunch of issues going in this fight, and he still pretty much
Dominated. And
And
he called his shot. He
So
said he
it's-
was going to win by submission, and he won by submission.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
how many times has he won by anything else?
yeah.
He submits almost everyone.
Yeah,
I mean,
I mean, like, you think about it, like it's pretty much what he does.
you're not really hearing Khabib with a knockout.
It's going to be a TKO in the third round. It's
Exactly.
not necessarily Mystic Mac.
I think it's a sad day because the dude is such a dominant fighter. You want that guy to come along to give him some problems, but
Yeah.
when is the last time you saw a fight and you thought, "Oh, Habib's in trouble"?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it's I don't know.
I
man.
mean, Connor had his moments in his fight. It was just, it was very much the other way.
I feel like the Conor moments though was just because it was Conor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you just know Conor is capable of a one
flashes,
punch. Yeah. So
flashes of,
so if
hey,
he
back
lands
up,
a punch, you feel like
back up
oh,
off
yeah,
me.
yeah, but
Connor's okay.
But it was really, I still feel like I don't know if Habib's in trouble though. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
It
So-
did go 4 rounds though.
But yeah, it did.
There was
I
that
mean,
side of it.
Yeah,
He didn't get taken out in the second.
He made his point.
But I mean, Habib's father passed away a few months ago. That was a big, influence in his fight career. He said his mom wanted him to retire, so that's kind of why he did it. But
Okay.
we'll see what happens. It's a fighter retiring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've seen it before. He's a different beast. He's a different animal. We don't know. But
he's
there was
different.
also the whole thing of him and his dad wanted to go 30-0. That was the whole thing also. And 2 or 3 days before, he was talking about fighting GSP for his last fight, for his 30th fight.
Yeah.
So you were just talking about that 3 days ago. You talked to your mom, and now fighters are emotional right after the fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was his first fight without his dad, on his side.
Yeah.
So, Jordan retired after his dad passed away. There's emotions in that
Yeah.
stuff that make you do and say certain things. I'm not sure if he's retired for good. We can't ever say a fighter is retired because the thing is, if you what was that?
It was my watch. I was trying It's just like your watch. Our watch is just
mine
do
will
it
go
for
after
no reason.
148.
And I just try to always get away from the mic if it does happen.
Okay. But there's a lot of different things that factor into this. Maybe he needs money in a year, and like, you know what, or just wants money in a year that says I can make a lot of money fighting a GSP, fighting McGregor again.
Yeah.
Who knows? And then you tell your mom, like, look, Mom, I'm fighting,
We'll be
and
fine.
I'll buy you something.
We'll be fine.
Exactly.
I mean, Kareem was talking about, basically retiring at the height of your money capabilities of the height of me making all the money I can make. There is something to be said there, but as you said, as we've said, he is different. Dana and Joe Rogan and everyone around him all the people that are in the know have said he's a different kind of person. He's not a flashy guy. He doesn't spend his money. So if he's making 10, 12, he's not making that kind of money. We've talked about how John Jones only got paid $600,000 for 2 fights ago. Yeah. So, so these guys aren't making gobs and gobs of money, but at the same time, if he has had a few big fights, like especially the Conor fight, we don't know how much he made, but I'm sure if Conor made $40 million, he at least made somewhere. He made a couple million.
You also look at, like you said, he is a weird guy, but he's also he didn't come off to me like the kind of guy that's moved by money. He's more of a morally motivated person. Like that beef with him and Conor, I think with him it was real. Like everybody else might have been putting on the show, but to him, no, you disrespected my father. We about to go at
but
it.
Disrespecting
my religion.
But he's in the fight game, so he knows you're still money motivated. You're not fighting that long to not be about the money.
Well,
so
he ain't fighting for free, but
no,
you know what I'm saying? But he ain't.
Exactly.
But I don't think he's gonna.
My whole point is that if you get a big payday coming up, you could easily come out of retirement.
You can be enticed.
Money is going to pull
enticed.
somebody out of retirement. Yeah. So
everybody has a price. Yeah.
And beyond that, like I said, it's emotions after a fight. I've seen a lot of fighters. Paul Felder, his last fight, he's one of the commentators for UFC.
Daniel Cormier,
he retired
multiple times.
Has he retired multiple times?
Yeah. Like after John Jones, that one time when John Jones made him cry. He was like, I don't know if I can do it anymore. Like he was like,
but you see it all the time because they feel defeated. They don't feel if I can't beat this guy, why am I still fighting?
Yeah.
One of the issues with this fight, Gaethje and Khabib are on the same management team, Dominance MMA. Mm-hmm. Could that have factored into why it looked like such a lopsided fight? Because Gaethje did not look like he went in there to really fight his fight. Are some of these fighters too close? He did not look like the same Gaethje in any fight I've seen him in recently at all.
I can say just from, now that we've gotten to know some of these guys, getting to know Jamal, getting to know some of the other fighters that we know now. They're friends, but it's like basketball. The second we go up, the second they lock that cage to knuckle up, we're like, I might not try to really, really hurt you in the end, but we're going to fight. Like it's a fight, it's a competition. You know what I mean?
I think also, like, you know that there were guys who wanted to fight Mike Tyson. Yeah. And then they got in the ring with Mike Tyson, and you can watch the fight and tell that guy don't really want to fight Mike Tyson.
He doesn't want to be
You know
here.
what I mean? And not saying, Khabib doesn't have that kind of, like, knockout power that, or at least we haven't seen him just be, knocking fools clean out. But at the same time, a guy get in the ring with them, and all of a sudden now it's like, ooh.
They have to feel him.
Yeah, one mistake, and this fight is over. So... Yeah. A guy who would normally go in and be the aggressor is now all of a sudden
backing up.
Yeah, and things like that. So I don't know, man. It's always tough to gauge if a guy really wanted to fight or not, or if he was just trying to do something different. And like,
well, Gaethje was getting choked out. He tapped out 5 or 6 times. The ref didn't stop the tap out. Gaethje fell asleep, and then they finally stopped it. So he was asleep for a little bit. Listen, he's the greatest wrestler of all time. If he gets you in his grips, it's over. And I think that's just showing.
Once he puts these paws on you.
Yeah.
these bear paws.
And that's a testament to how great Khabib is. Of course, none of us want to see him retire yet, but at the same time, we see fighters fight too long, and then they take some L's that they don't want to take. Anderson Silva still has another fight coming up.
Too much.
And that kind of takes you out of the best, greatest ever pound for pound argument.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
you don't know
you should have been.
when you don't know when to quit.
Yeah,
People have short memories. They only remember your last few fights. There are people who I've literally had to direct to YouTube to remember how great like Mike Tyson was.
Well, that's dumb.
You know, or show them.
If you have to direct people to YouTube to show them how good Mike Tyson was, you shouldn't talk to them about boxing at all.
Probably true.
There's some people you shouldn't. If people only remember Jordan for his last 2 years in Washington, you probably shouldn't have to direct them anywhere. Talk to them.
No
about
one really ever.
Let's start that side. That just goes down a long line of conversations I don't wish to have. Okay, all right. No, Gilbert Burns is welterweight. I was just trying to think of the other fighters that are out there right now in that division, but I always forget that Khabib is, because Conor kind of floats.
Well, Conor goes anywhere.
He floats, and so I think Conor right now is welterweight, right?
Who knows?
I don't know.
Boxing weight?
I mean, it depends. He's whatever he wants to be. He'll be lightweight.
What is he fighting with Poirier? That's lightweight, I think.
I believe it's lightweight.
Yeah, because they're saying that they're gonna mess around and let that be for the belt.
No, they can't do that,
man.
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
That's dumb.
Just come out of nowhere, like fight for the belt.
Poirier's 3, and Conor's 4. So they're saying that they might.
Conor's 4, that's amazing. But
hey, man,
yeah. When last time Conor fought? It's been 2 years, ain't it?
No,
stop
he
it.
Killed Cowboy in January.
Oh, I forgot about that fight. Yeah,
Wow, that was.
That was like the last.
All right, Steve's off to the rest of the MMA talk.
But yeah, they're saying that might actually be for the vacated belt. That's something.
I think they should do a tournament type thing for the vacated belt, which they probably won't. But I think that'd be a dope thing to do because there are so many dope
they gonna get that belt to
lightweights.
Conor.
That's what they're trying to do.
They gonna get that man his belt back. Like, here you go, Conor. We know.
They should have a 1 day.
It's been a long time.
Just a 1 day tournament like the Kumite.
No, Kumite?
The Kumite.
And no, they need to bring. Look, I've said this. They need to bring. And I can't remember who I was talking to, but they were saying when they talked to Big John doesn't consider any of these guys the GOAT simply because they never had to go through what Royce Gracie had to go through, and some of those other guys where it's like, hey, bro. He fought 4 times in the same night, 5 times the same night.
But that's what I hate in any GOAT conversation. You can't.
It's different.
But
different era. But
you just can't. You can't knock the guys doing it now. They don't have the choice to do that or not. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time,
the training was totally different then as well.
It was different. And all those fighters back then, even Gracie, they didn't have multiple skill sets.
No,
like
they
do
had
now.
their skill set.
They had their one
and
skill set.
And they were champions in their skill set.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's how it all started. So you can't say that because I think any of these guys now would go back in time and whoop any of those guys. Put Royce Gracie up against Khabib. I mean, they're going to be on the ground forever wrestling each other, but
it could go bad.
Yeah.
you're like, uh-oh, bro, the gi is not working today.
Hey, this fight ain't over.
He's like trying to
snap.
get the gi.
Hey, something's gonna break. Ain't no tapping out. Y'all go until it's gone.
It's blood sport today. That's hilarious. Yeah. But I feel you. I mean, in some regards, there's a part of me that still holds those people in high esteem just because that was entertaining to me.
Yeah.
Like that guy is coming right back out in 30 minutes. He gonna go back in the back. He gonna come back. His eye is now completely swollen, but he's still fighting.
Just put some Vaseline on it.
Man.
Some tape.
Royce Gracie out here fighting heavyweights, bro.
Well, there was times they had alternates.
Yeah.
If someone got hurt, the alternate comes in. Sometimes the alternate fought just the championship fight.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, what?
How did this happen? My man slid his way to the top.
Hey.
We got Joe Smith from Vaughn's
MMA. They got an MMA shop in the back. It's behind the produce section.
He's back there punching real beef.
Move on from MMA. I don't think we're topping that. That's pretty good.
There was more than one fight, guys.
There were a few more fights.
Oh,
there were a few more fights.
Yeah, Steve. I know you only watch highlights, but Whitaker and Jared Cannonier.
That was a good fight.
Whitaker looked really good. I thought Jared was gonna get this fight, man. He's looked really good after dropping like 3 different weights. He's been looking really good lately, but Whitaker pretty much dominating him. I think the first round could have went either way. But as Cream said, no, he dominated everywhere. So we'll just go with that, Cream, since you're not here. But it was a really good fight. Whitaker looks really good, man. So I know he's, pushing his way back up to the top of the middleweight. Which, we're talking about middleweight. Israel Adesanya, who does he fight next? Because he's already knocked Whitaker out.
No, he's got to fight Dagon. Oh, no, sorry. Adesanya, sorry. I don't know who Adesanya fights next.
I just want to see him and John Jones meet sometime soon.
Is he going to come up? Because John can't
they
go
would
down.
have to. They would have to meet in the middle.
You think?
Yeah, they'd have to go to light heavyweight.
No, John is light heavyweight.
That's what I'm saying. No, John's heavyweight now.
John, he hasn't committed all the way.
That's my whole point, though.
Wait.
They would.
Has he had a heavyweight fight yet?
Of course not.
He's still light heavyweight.
Yeah, but he vacated. Well, you guys, he vacated the belt, so
he did vacate.
Let's act like we know a little something.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
They would have to meet.
There
light heavyweight. Yeah, he's definitely not going down to middleweight.
That's what I was saying, because when you were saying meet in the middle, I thought you were saying possibly.
Well, because everyone's saying John Jones has moved up to heavyweight. That's why he vacated the light heavyweight. That's the whole. Yeah. So they would have to meet in the middle, which would be
a catch weight of 192.
Right.
He's got to lose a whole 6 pounds.
Hey, John Jones got to come down another 8 pounds. That might break a man. I'm just saying. That's just my thoughts.
So he's technically heavyweight, but until you taste them heavyweight paws on your face, I don't know if I could give him that heavyweight respect yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Wait, you don't think John Jones will be a good heavyweight?
No,
listen.
I think he would be good, but I'm saying it ain't like heavyweight is 5 pounds up. I mean, some of these guys coming in 250.
It can be.
You know what I mean?
No. What he's saying though is some of the bigger guys.
Heavyweights hit much harder than light heavyweight.
They do.
That's the thing. It's not. He's not moving up. He might move up 6 pounds, but the guy he's fighting has been 250, taking punches from 250 guys
his whole life.
So
I don't know, because a lot of heavyweights used to be light heavyweights.
I mean, true. And John Jones could be clearly like Roy Jones. He could be so much faster than those guys that he could nullify a lot of that strength. You know what I mean?
That's where people say that he would have his advantages. He's still John Jones. He's still technical. He still has the wrestling. My only thought process is, though, if he gets caught with something, it's a little different up there versus where he's been. You know what I mean?
And you throw a little bit of that candy.
The Black Beast catches him. It could be lights out. Now, Black Beast is also sloppy, so there's a lot of things that John Jones can take advantage of.
Right.
And Cormier destroyed him, so
very true.
And John Jones has destroyed Cormier a lot.
Very true. That's been what, 3 years?
John Jones is one of the best fighters of all time. I don't think he would go up to heavyweight thinking like, let me just do the same thing I've been doing. He's going to be smart enough to know why he's going up, what he needs to do to train to go up, how much weight he needs to gain to go up, how much more strength he might need to get to go up.
If he goes up, I think the best play for him, honestly, is to fight to have a big fight versus Brock Lesnar, because that's a fight that people will want to pay for. They both get paid.
Wow.
And then turn around and fight, what's his name? The champion. I always blank on everyone's names. I'm terrible with that. You know what I'm talking about.
Blachowicz.
No. The heavyweight champion is
heavyweight?
Is Dag.
Stipe.
Stipe, thank you.
You think he beats
There's
Brock Lesnar?
There's been so many fights.
I think he beats Brock.
Brock's old.
I think he beats Brock Lesnar because Brock Lesnar is gonna be lumbering and I want to knock you out and all those kind of things.
Okay.
Brock is super old.
Is he? How old is Brock Lesnar?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I think Brock Lesnar probably about 38.
Nope.
40?
43.
43. Brock Lesnar's 43.
Okay.
He was old when he started. He was
I
old
mean,
when
he had been in wrestling for years before then. Wow, I didn't realize he was that old.
Yeah.
6'3", 286, bro.
That's listen to me. I don't care who you are. That's a big gap.
Can John Jones hit him hard enough?
No, it's not hitting
him.
It's being able to wrestle him. But remember,
can you wrestle a guy that's about 80 pounds more than you right now?
But not just that. Remember, Brock Lesnar was a world-class wrestler.
That's what I'm saying. and he's 80 pounds more than you.
Yeah.
How much weight is John Jones going to put
43.
on?
Well, no. How much weight does he not have to lose is the real question.
I guess
Because his walk around weight
What's his walk
is
around?
probably around 240, 230.
Think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I've seen, like, if you see him, like, in his little videos with his dog and stuff when he's not training, he's a bigger
How
John
tall
Jones.
is John Jones?
Like 6'5",
6'5".
6'4", 6'5".
Okay.
He's a bigger guy.
Yeah.
He goes down to light heavyweight.
No, yeah, he's going down, but he's also not. He's not walking around 240 of muscle. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
no, he's 240.
So when he cuts, I mean, and he gets to what? What's he going to get in the ring at? 220? You know what I'm saying?
Still too light.
But
And
we
you
don't know
still-
what Brock's going to get in the ring at either.
Very true,
You're reading Google and you're reading his WWE weight,
Hey,
but
if he's walking around at
WWE does not legit go in there and weigh and measure everybody.
I get that, but what's Brock
They
been
had
getting in the ring at? 250?
they had Andre the Giant at 8'3" once. So
not
that's
not 8'3". I can't. With
But I'm
you.
just saying, what's Brock getting in the ring at? 250? That would be my guess.
I'm
Around
gonna
there,
find out.
you know?
John Jones is beating Brock Lesnar if they fight.
How you think he
That's
beat
it.
him?
How-
TKO?
by winning? How's he?
TKO?
By winning.
Jab him to death?
He was 265 the last time he fought in the UFC. That was his weigh-in.
Yeah.
Was 265.
Yeah.
So that's still.
And that was 265 on steroids. So
John Jones was 205 on cocaine. What's the difference?
you don't know the difference between cocaine and steroids when you're fighting.
Oh, I know the difference.
Okay, so there's a big difference.
But I'm just saying, man, there's some checks and balances there that cocaine could give you a. It's been working for John Jones so far. I'm just.
Oh my God.
All right, let's move on because we're starting to lose our MMA credibility
that
with
was
Steve talking.
Hey, that was still pretty solid.
Keeping
Go
it
ahead.
real.
Go ahead. What
And
else?
then, and then Alexander Volkov beat Walt Harris.
Yes,
You
yes.
know, Walt getting whooped a little bit lately, but
He's at a rough 2020.
yeah.
Haven't we all?
We've all had a rough 2020, but
Nope.
not
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 quite.
everybody. You haven't?
Not at all.
He's been living a dream.
I keep telling you, everyone keeps speaking that over everyone. Like, oh, this is the worst year ever. No, it's not.
It
It could be
has-
the worst year for you, but don't,
ain't the worst
don't speak
year
that
ever.
over
It
my
hasn't
life.
been. It hasn't been the worst year ever. It's been there's definitely been some setbacks. I think for everyone. Everyone has had to take some kind of a setback.
I
in
mean,
some
people got
ways.
knocked off the routine. And,
Yeah,
and
yeah. That
most
for
people
sure.
have not learned how to
recover.
Well, not even recover,
Yeah.
learned how to deal with it. And I think it's actually a good thing to, and we'll talk about that on a different show, but I think it's a good thing to get knocked off your routine and have to like really analyze life and look at things different. And hopefully people will manage their money and their life better.
Yeah.
But it's been a good year for me.
Yeah.
Business has been better now than it was before the quarantine. So
That's terrific.
shout out.
Shout out to
Shout out
to
to business.
Vegas hype and Gorilla Crofts.
Right.
Exactly. All right, moving on to the NBA. Let's get into some NBA news real quick. We had heard before that Adam Silver, almost called him David Stern. Adam Silver wants an 82-game season in front of fans, so he was going to wait till after, the new year, and we weren't going to have a season again until 2021. But it's looking like they're going back to their Christmas Day
time.
mark because a couple things factor into that. That's a huge day for the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
If you move it back, you can't do 82 games. You can't try to ride over Major League again and NFL. We obviously saw that didn't work with the ratings, which ratings in sports everywhere are way down. But 72-game regular season.
Yeah.
It would start, I think, the 22nd.
The 22nd, they said.
So you get a couple games before the Christmas day games.
I'll say this. Right now we have we have most of October because when the finals have been over probably about 2 weeks. So we've had most of October, all of November, and the majority of December. That's still 2.5 months.
Yeah.
That's solid. Yeah, you can deal with that as an
You
off
can deal with that.
Now and then remember
the draft is November 18th, I believe.
Yeah.
So that's coming up in about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So they get about a month with their newly drafted.
You have a little bit of an accelerated training camp, I would say. Maybe
Yeah.
not nearly as many preseason games, which I think everybody.
They might have two. If you're doing a 72-game season, you're having 2 or 3 preseason games.
Oh,
Maybe.
but I'm saying
Yeah.
just not nearly as many because everyone feels like preseason drags in a normal
If
year.
at
It's
all.
like, man, it's still preseason.
If at all.
Why are we still having preseason right now?
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, in a normal year, Because remember, a lot of these teams, I think it's, 10 teams, 14 teams, have not played since March.
Right.
So those people are plenty rested.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're ready to go. So it's really only 16 teams, and of those 16, truthfully, only like four to eight
that are tired.
4 to 8 might be tired, and those are the teams that tend to be tired.
I wouldn't even go all 8.
Yeah.
4 or 2.
So pushing it all the way when they said January, I was like, why? I don't understand why we would be doing that. But he did also say that they wanted to make sure they had the games in arenas. So I think it came down to that.
I think that's the biggest issue.
It could be 72 game regular season, a play-in tournament, kind of how they did, with the teams that needing to make it to the 8 seed, which I think they should be doing that every year, because especially in the West, you have 3 or 4 teams every year that are only 1 game out.
Yeah.
And so I think that's a good idea. Likelihood of no All-Star game or All-Star weekend. The league is considering a 2-week break at the midway point of the season. If you could do a 2-week break, you could have a weekend All-Star game during that 2-week break.
Like, these dudes in this freaking break, these youngins need so much time.
This is the NBA.
We need a break. We need this.
Okay, we're not going to be the old man on the porch.
I will be the old man on the porch.
No, we're not.
This is horrible.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me be my old man.
Go with your rant.
Man, it's not right, Steve. But yet we be calling people goats and stuff out of this time period. Hey. This isn't right, Steve. Steve, tell us about your man. Tell us.
No, we're not doing that.
I do agree.
I'll mute your mic.
I'm just saying. I was giving Steve his moment.
Nope.
No, I agree. I agree with you though.
I brought that guy up earlier.
I think if you can have a 2-week break, you can have an All-Star weekend, which is what, 3 days?
Yeah.
Well, like we said, the NBA season has never ended October, whatever, it just ended.
Yeah.
I mean, that's usually when preseason begins. So I understand. But, yeah, a 2-week break, you could have All-Star.
All-Star weekend maybe beginning of March.
You also make a lot of money that weekend.
Yeah. That's the showcase time period for NBA partnerships.
Yeah.
That's where the NBA does a lot in terms of their marketing partners. They have fantasy camps for marketing partners. Right. They have special things. They have NBA Jam Session, which is also a huge sponsored driven event every All-Star weekend. So they don't want to just, like, when they say, oh, we're not gonna have All-Star weekend, somebody has really thought about that, because All-Star weekend is a huge moment for the NBA.
But here's the thing too, the NBA.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Steve. You've had your hands up for 10 minutes.
Why the gap though? Why 2 weeks?
You're doing the Trump thing.
If
Steve.
We're not gonna tremendous. This is tremendous. If we're not having an All-Star game, just keep playing. That's my argument. Why have a 2-week break?
Why we need this break?
Because at some point, you kind of want the season to start.
Ended in October, Steve.
Right.
But so for some of the teams, you need a break because you don't have
these other teams.
You want to break?
Got new legs.
Hey, go look at your bank account if you need a break. Nah, keep playing.
Straight up,
cracking that whip, baby. Get back at it.
Wow.
Just one season.
I'm not the one that said that, folks. Just want to keep that in mind. The white guy did not say that. Listen, I think we'll see some.
That's great.
I think we'll see a little bit of load management at the beginning of this new season for the Lakers, Anthony Davis and LeBron, which would make a lot. It's 148. I've turned this alarm off many times, and it still goes off.
Still goes off.
I don't understand. But I think we might see some load management for them, which they would need.
It's definitely well deserved. They won, and they won in an unconventional way. They won in a quarantine bubble. So this is the one season where I could be like, yeah, load management is a legitimate thing and is definitely needed, because.
So in this too, with the 2-week break, this is what the NBA is proposing. The NBA PA Players Association has to sign off. So I think they put all this out there for the negotiations now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
So that whole 2-week thing, the players might want an All-Star game. Who knows? Yeah. So they might come back with that if we're taking 2 weeks. So I think that 2-week thing is kind of like for negotiations.
It's a negotiation tactic.
We'll see.
It makes sense. It makes sense.
I get it.
And also, the Olympics are supposed to happen this summer.
That's right.
And that's another thing. That's why the NBA. Oh, you want to say?
Well, no. They were supposed to be done before the Olympics. They were saying they were getting the whole season in, with time for the Olympics to happen as well.
So the 2020 Olympics is now going to be the 2021 Olympics.
Nope.
It's
Still the 2020 Olympics.
It's still considered the 2020 though. It's going to happen in 21, obviously.
Right.
It's still considered 2020, and then
3 years later,
it's going to be the same Olympic cycle, which I think is cool because I was like, dang, Olympic cycle is going to be off.
Yeah, I got that too. Yeah,
2029s now.
Still in Japan.
Weird. Yeah. Still. It's still
know.
in Japan, right? They spent all the money.
Yeah,
they were ready.
They lost a lot of money this summer.
Yeah,
too,
yeah. Oh my gosh,
a lot of people lost a lot of money.
Wuhan flu.
Wu-Tang.
Wu-Tang Clan.
China.
Chop them up like the Saudis do.
Hey.
God bless Borat.
Wow.
Have you caught Borat?
No,
not yet, bro.
I've not seen it.
You haven't seen it?
No. It just came out Friday.
Come on,
I saw it Friday morning. This dude doesn't see Black Panther for 3 months and sees Borat. The moment it hits Amazon Prime.
I was ready.
Wow.
It came up on my Fire Stick. I was like, yes, I will watch it. I was like, man, it's only 6:15. I will watch it at 6:15 in the morning.
Wow.
We will have a laugh.
All right, a little more NBA. Pat Riley said there's an asterisk on the Lakers title because Bam was hurt. Dragic was hurt. So are we going to start putting that little star on every NBA Finals because someone's always hurt for the other team?
Every year.
He went that way.
Yeah, he did.
Well, he also said some other things too, but he
that was his main main talking point.
Well,
I mean, I wouldn't say every year someone is hurt because that's not true. But no, they've had
okay. Let's go through.
Okay,
let's go through it.
Last year, obviously, not
Toronto Raptors versus Golden State Warriors.
Everyone was hurt.
People were hurt for the Warriors.
Yeah, everyone. The year before,
I don't think anybody was hurt.
No, not anybody big, right?
No. Golden State's first win against Cleveland. Everybody was hurt.
Kyrie,
so you could
Kevin Love,
put the little star up there.
Yeah,
put the star up.
Yeah, no, you can't.
You could put the star up a lot. We can go back to 04 if I want my Lakers to win another one. We can go back to 04.
Who's hurt then?
Karl Malone couldn't
hurt.
walk. Shaq couldn't stop eating. There was a lot of hurt feelings in the locker room. So there was Slava Medvedenko. His jumper was hurt. There was a lot of hurt going on.
Hurt jumpers. Oh my god.
Hurt jumpers.
We never stop with the asterisks. The problem I have is, does he say that if they win?
Yeah,
because somebody else, you know what I mean?
It's not an asterisk thing,
right? Yeah. So
like, what's the Lakers gonna say? Well, they were hurt. Well, yeah, we were hurt and we still won.
Yeah. You know, right.
And to say we were hurt and you still took it to 6 and had a shot at 7. Like, so let's not get into that side of it. If you want to say asterisk because of the bubble, then you have your argument.
Build a better team.
But you wouldn't have said that if you won.
Exactly. You see what I'm saying? So that's back to Steve's point, where it's like, if we would have won, I would have kept my mouth closed. I wouldn't be out here arguing another point of
we having
thought.
a parade up and down Florida.
Yeah.
Ain't
the champagne has still got popped, right? Like we weren't back in the back cracking beers for this one random time. Like,
all right, there's been a few coaching hirings as well in the NBA.
Yes.
The Pelicans, after firing Gentry, I thought they wanted to go younger and kind of, get in with the team that's
still old.
Get in with the team that's a lot of younger players.
Younger voice. They need a younger
You
voice.
want that in the locker room, someone that could relate to the team. So they went out and got Stan Van Gundy.
No low post touches for Mr. Zion at all.
I have a, and I like Stan Van Gundy. I think he'd be good for a veteran basketball team, maybe a team that's not vying for a championship or looking to make it, to make it to the championship.
Maybe from the bottom of the 8 to like the mid 4.
My problem with Stan Van Gundy is he had major issues with his star Dwight Howard.
Yes.
He had issues to where he had to retire from a team that was about to win the championship because his stars would rather have Pat Riley come down from the office and coach them. So he did a fake retire to hang out with his family in the middle of a season because Shaq not necessarily Dwayne Wade, mainly Shaq didn't like Stan Van Gundy.
Yep.
So now you're putting him with Zion Williamson, who is another supposed star.
Ultra star, potentially.
And is this going to fly with a young star like this if he's doing this old school style of coaching?
Well, one thing I will say about Zion does, from what I've heard and what people have said, likes to be coached hard. Coach K notoriously does coach hard. He's from what I've been told, he's a very, very, hardworking kid, always wants to know more. He's a sponge. He's a basketball sponge. So from that side of it, I can see that Stan, if they have a good relationship. Now, if Stan goes there and he's not necessarily not coddling, but kind of is in an adversarial role from the beginning, then I don't see it going well. But if he got hired and the first thing he did was getting buddy with Zion and trying to get to know him and trying to, humanize each other, humanize the relationship, I think it'll be all right. But if he goes there and he's trying to be like everybody's the same, knowing that everybody ain't the same,
and you're dealing with Lonzo Ball, whose dad is going to be on a new hype because now he has two sons in the NBA.
Yeah.
So how's he going to handle, that circus that will come with it? Because I think Pelicans will be better.
Yeah.
They're going to get a lot more national televised games.
Yes, they will.
So they will still be in the spotlight, even though Lonzo is no longer in LA. He's still going to be in the spotlight.
Yeah.
How's that going to fly? You got Brandon Ingram there. You have a young team. I don't know if it works.
Have we ever seen Stan Van Gundy ever do the things that you just said that he would need to do?
I'm trying to think of his other teams. I'm really trying to think of his other teams because he coached Miami, he coached Orlando.
The last team was the Pistons, and they were, you're dealing with a hurt Blake Griffin.
Yeah, no, he was trash with the Pistons.
He was horrible. They were bad.
Good.
Which at the same time, you can't really blame Stan Van Gundy because he had Blake Griffin who was hurt all the time.
Give me a minute, Steve. Go ahead, y'all. I'm gonna try to see if he had one more star.
I don't think he had one in between that.
He have anybody in between Orlando and Detroit?
Think so.
That was it. Because if that was it, then this is a horrible hire.
Yeah,
I'm really trying to find it. I'm trying to find the positive in it. I don't know. But I don't want any pregnant pauses, so I'll let Steve.
Yeah, we'll have Steve look that up.
Steve, go ahead and look it up.
I'm trying to find.
We'll be over here.
Yeah.
Another coaching hire, Indiana. All the young coaches that are out there. Indiana picked up some white dude that nobody had really heard of, but he's an assistant in Toronto.
Yeah. And no one had really heard of Nick Nurse like that. Like, people knew him, but not like to the point where it was like he about to win a championship next year.
Yeah.
So those under the radar ones from now on, I don't be boo-hooing them the way I used to.
I'm just upset in the bubble that any of these coaches really got fired. Nate McMillan got fired.
Yeah, that was uncalled for.
His star player had been hurt. Nate McMillan's been a good coach this whole time. They overachieved last year.
Yeah.
I feel like they even overachieved this year with the team they had with him being hurt. I didn't get that firing, to be honest. I've always liked Nate as a coach.
Yeah. And no, Stan Van Gundy did not coach anywhere else. It was Orlando. So Miami left, took that break that we talked about, went to Orlando for 5 years, had a good run in Orlando, kind of fizzled at the end, went to Detroit, did nothing for 4 years, was the president in Detroit, if I remember right.
I believe so.
He was like top. He got a really good gig in Detroit, and Detroit hasn't done anything really in the last 5 years.
But I feel like you hiring a coach, Stan Van Gundy, his record, he's barely above 500, 577. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For his long career since 1995 in the NBA, he hasn't really done much other than one Eastern Conference championship.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you got this new team. They're no matter. I don't care how you look at it with the bubble and everything. You got a brand new team. Why fire the coach? Why not give the coach you got there a year or two? You know what I mean?
I will say with regards to Gentry, I don't know if his style wasn't necessarily suited for what that team could be. They really need, honestly, a coach that is a fast break oriented coach, that is locking down on defense, not really running a whole lot of sets, but just really using their athleticism because they should be exciting.
Well, and you got to understand with the Pelicans too this season, the playing game is a thing because they were trying to get the Pelicans into the playoffs.
Yeah, 100%.
And they actually did horrendous in the bubble. So I understand why he was fired. They weren't playing Zion Williamson hardly at all.
Yeah.
And I think the team was probably upset about that. I think that was a coach's decision and not a David Griffin decision.
Yeah.
So I think that factored into him being fired.
I forgot about Griff being there.
But this is
trying to see if that might have any reason for the hiring of Stan Van Gundy too.
And I think this.
I mean, someone hired him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But I don't know. Yeah,
like
it just shows like the organization because of all the things they need. Do you see any of that in Stan Van Gundy?
Yeah,
Does he have a history of being a great fast break coach or a great work with young players coach? You know what I mean? Like you don't see any of that. So it's like, what's up with the Pelicans? You know what I'm saying? Like to me, it's you finally get these big breaks. You get rid of AD, but you get some good young players out of it. You get Zion out of, the whole, the lottery, all this excitement, all this great stuff going on. And then you get rid of the coach and you replace him with Stan Van Gundy.
Yeah. I mean, the
Pelicans
like are definitely set up for the next 5 years. If they
it's not like Stan's a bad coach though. He did get a team to the finals before.
He's above 500. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, like you said, but
and he's above 500 with a horrible Detroit team that he was coaching too. So we'll see what happens. I'm not sold on it, but I'm also let's wait and see. I trust David Griffin. He's a great GM.
David Griffin's a good GM, especially when given the opportunity to be one.
Yeah,
and not have LeBron.
Exactly. And the draft is coming up in a couple weeks. We don't know who the number 1 pick is. I really only know the top 3 players. I really cannot tell you anything about this NBA draft. Somebody was asking me, who do you think Lakers should pick, late in the first round? I'm like, nobody.
Well, no, but
nobody.
All right, so what do you think the Lakers need? That's usually, whenever I don't know who's in it, I can tell you what I think my team needs.
Some knee braces for Anthony Davis, some ankle support. That man goes down 6 times a game.
Some milk with
magnesium. That's what they need to draft. Yeah, some calcium.
How many games did he miss?
I'm so done with you.
He didn't miss games.
Okay, thanks.
He just missed plays.
Okay, you sound like the internet.
He ain't lying.
he didn't miss any games. He didn't miss any games.
Game 5, I thought that man blew his whole Achilles out. I was like, oh Lord, oh Quad's gonna have a conniption. And I came back because like literally when he went down, like because I want to say me and Aaron, we were out of town, and so when we had a game, and when he went down, like I sent Aaron a video, and I was like, oh no. Yeah, AD went down. She watched it and she was like, oh, that wasn't a lot of contact. I don't know. And I was like, I don't know what's gonna happen.
Every time.
And then he was back on the floor, but he was like dragging a leg the rest of the game. It's like, are you sure he's good? Are you sure he's good? Or is this about to be a KD? I didn't know what was gonna happen with that. So for all it worked out in LA's favor and he was okay and was able to perform, but I was nervous on that one. When I did see that one, I was like, that looks a little legit.
I was definitely scared.
you playing
moving sports.
What the heck is this?
I don't know.
Take me out to the ball game. It's really old.
I don't know what that is, but it sounded racist.
I was just saying, wow, that sounds so racist, bro. Like,
wow,
that was definitely from a racial time.
Yeah.
Because it's white people from the 1900s singing?
Yeah,
that's a part of it. It sounded like some N-bombs was dropped after this song was recorded. Definitely.
Steve, there's N-bombs dropped in every recording you listen to, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, I'm not going to dispute that. I'm just going to say it is a little different. It is. Look, it wasn't no black players on the field when that song was played.
That we can all be assured of.
Guarantee you that.
I can tell you there was a Negro League right now when that song was made.
It was a whole nother league for the black people.
There was a team named the Grays and
the Black Sox.
The Black Sox. The Monarchs. Satchel Paige was 22.
Is this better?
For the home team.
Oh my God.
They don't win, it's a shame. It's 1, 2.
I just need you to laugh at me saying Satchel Paige was 22 because that man played like 75. So I need you to catch the reference. That man won Rookie of the Year at 47. He finally made it to the big leagues.
Oh, is this better for you, Steve?
Oh my God!
I don't even know if this is better.
That's good stuff.
Sounds more modern.
Well, it's Billy Joel. I hope so.
Oh wow,
Billy Joel,
Piano Man.
Right.
Well, that's our baseball segment for the day, folks. They took the whole time laughing. So Dodgers are going to win in 6.
Okay, Dodgers. It's over. It's over now.
Oh yeah.
Well, you
Guaranteed.
did get your one bugaboo, a win and off the mound without anything bad happening because Clayton Kershaw,
two
boy,
wins.
Like I said,
Got 2 wins in the World Series.
And he's now two for 2.
And he set a record for postseason strike.
He did. But that record out.
Are you still crying though?
No, I'm still crying off Satchel Paige.
I know that. I know that.
Steve got how funny that reference was.
Bruh. Satchel Paige might still be playing. It is.
When has Steve not laughed at anything?
He's a good laugh.
Hey man,
he's your comedy club laugh. You need some
Steve,
Steves.
have you seen that kid get kicked by the horse?
It was.
See, I didn't even have to say anything, and he laughs at that.
I sent it to Quan earlier. I don't know if Quan had seen it before, but it was funny.
I'm so upset.
Send it to me because I
was
need
funny.
to see it now.
It was funny.
I'm so upset. We missed something very important on Thursday.
What?
Oh, what happened? What happened?
It was I'm not gonna say it. I'll say it when I stop laughing. I tagged you in it last week.
Something happened on
It
Thursday.
was National
Stuttering Day.
Stuttering Awareness Day.
Stuttering awareness.
that was rough. That was rough. That was a rough watch.
That's a rough day for a lot of people, man.
And I was like the only laugh. There was like a lot of hearts and likes and thumbs up.
Everybody
And then
else in the
mine is
comments.
like-
No, everybody in the comments was stutterers, saying how there needs to be more awareness. That I've stuttered for 53 years, and this is really good. I wish we had camps like this back in our day because it was a video about a camp.
It was a documentary. Yeah, it was a documentary.
Oh wow.
Did you watch it yet?
No, I watched that whole thing, and I felt like a horrible person, but I was weak.
And then Josh's comment is
I was surprised my inbox was not just filled with hate speech. I would have welcomed it too. Like, I'm so sorry. I am a bad person. I get it.
Hey man.
But that mess is hilarious to me. I'm sorry. Look, and it's funny.
Can't stop laughing.
Listen. It's funny because my mom knows I'm a bad person when it comes to that. Like, because even when I was young, like I was like, what's wrong with him? And like, well, mom, like, and I'd be weak as a kid, right? My mom was like, not funny. I'm like, that's funny. you can tell me all you want that that's not funny, but why am I giggling? I'm over here stuck. You better stop playing with me. That's hilarious.
It's not funny, man.
So-
There's nothing funny about it until y'all start talking about it, and then I can't stop laughing,
Man,
I think it's horrible that you guys laugh at
I
that.
just hope that my child, if it happens, it will cease to be funny,
Look, man.
and I'll feel horrible for many years of laughter. And then I'll laugh at
terrible,
my
Josh.
child at night when I'm by myself and I can have
Wow.
moments to myself.
If all the people you laughed at is gonna come out like embodied in your child,
all
it's
Steve's
gonna be
kids,
rough, bro.
all the rest of Steve's kids are going to be Asian.
I don't understand how this happened.
I don't either.
Why? Never mind. That was about to be really off the rails. I was about to get
Okay. My pastor said it's also Pastor Appreciation Month. I feel I have yet to feel appreciated by you.
Oh.
We'll bring him in the studio come Thursday, and we'll get you a piece of pizza or something.
Not a slice.
We appreciate you, Pastor.
We can get
Dan.
you a hot slice.
Wow, that's what you get.
I didn't realize it was Pastor Appreciation Month.
It is. It's
it?
October. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we used to do stuff for Pastor Albert in October.
What you
Really?
getting that thin crust Pizza Hut pizza?
Uh,
That ain't no good, man. We gotta. Man. You gotta give
Well,
some-
if you chip in once in a while, Steve, we can actually get better pizza.
Shoot.
now it's my fault.
It's your fault you don't chip in? Yeah.
You can't.
It's not my fault you don't
can't
chip in.
complain about the food and then not pay for the food.
It's not my fault that I spend $25 on pizza every time.
Heck
I
yeah,
didn't know.
pizza is
Let me know.
expensive
Well, now you
man.
know,
Let me know.
Steve. Now you know.
I was
Hit
talking
me
about
up.
that last night.
You shouldn't have to hit someone up when you order food. You should be like, hey, do you want any money for this? Okay, sure.
Let me know when there's going to be food ordered, and I'll cash app you.
Well, when you see the food and it's been ordered and you eat it, you can go ahead and just cash at me.
Josh always eats it before I get it. I don't even get it.
Fair. That's
Josh has also brought pizza to the studio.
that he ate for himself.
Wow.
Well, it was only me and you. You brought your Presbyterian pizza.
I did.
And I,
Presbyterian pizza. Was it blessed?
You sound like my brother. Oh my God. You changed denominations? I was like, no, man, I'm changing diet. It's pescatarian.
Yeah, not Presbyterian.
Yeah. Seventh-day Adventist. Like, you stupid.
Oh, man. I'm eating Mormon pizza. I can have as many slices as I want.
Oh, my God.
And they're all mine.
Some good pizza.
From 4 different boxes. Oh, yes. Yes.
Are you choking? Because your hands are up.
Yes. Hey, Steve, that was good. That was well written. That was well written. I wasn't even prepared. I really had to stop back. I had to sit back and be like, wait a minute.
Hey, that was good.
There might be another joke here.
Oh, man.
You found it. You found it.
I found the magic. I found the magic, Quad. Move us on. I don't think we're going to get much better than that. That was good.
I don't even know where you're sitting at.
I don't even know where you at, son.
All right, moving on to baseball. Dodgers are up 3-2. These games are just back to back. I can't even keep up. But I don't think is there a game tonight or is it tomorrow?
No. It should be now. There should
Tuesdays.
be a day.
Now there's one day off,
right.
and Dodgers could have closed out last night if they wouldn't have choked in Game 4.
Game 4. That was
a great game.
That
though.
was amazing.
That was a great game.
I mean, and it wasn't even so much of a. Well, I guess it was. A little bit of a choke, but not really. Not the way that game was going.
Yeah,
because every other inning, someone was hitting a 2-run home run to go up 1, and so then the Dodgers went up 1 going into the 9th with Kenley on the mound to close us out, and then cue the Harlem Globetrotter music.
Yeah,
things went left.
You know.
Oh my goodness.
Hey.
To lose a game that way is tough, but the Dodgers legitimately have won basically every game this series except for one.
Yeah.
And that was the game that the Rays blew them out. But one thing I will say, I don't know anybody on the Rays. Not one. I don't know one name on that team. That team they have the entire team. I think I was telling you guys in the group chat, their entire salary cap right now is $28 million. The whole team. Clayton Kershaw this year is making $31 million.
Wow.
It's one player.
That's crazy.
So their
really?
whole team is $28 million.
Wow.
The Dodgers payroll is $252 million.
You should win this. You should win this series 7-0.
Shoot, we should win.
Hey.
We should win in the parking lot. Like they should just be calling this. We calling this as it's not due to rain. We're just calling it. We're just gonna call it. That's crazy.
Y'all don't make enough to
That
keep
is
playing.
crazy.
So that's so. I mean, yeah. If you guys find a way to lose to the 28 million Rays,
Hey.
just break up the team.
That
Go
would-
ahead and
that
give
would-
Mookie Betts back to the Red
I was
Sox.
gonna
Let's
say,
go ahead and
like,
rebalance the league.
Wouldn't that or shouldn't that be bad for baseball if a $28 million team can win the World Series? Wouldn't that say something
No.
about
That's actually
teams
good for
being
baseball.
paid too much?
That's it's kind of saying two things. One, you can win by GMing and
Right.
building a really good farm system, as the Rays have done, as Oakland always does.
Right.
Every other year, like Oakland have a bad year and they'll look up and they'll be good again or they got pitchers out their ears for
Right.
years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whereas
Yeah.
other teams like my team, we can't develop a pitching staff. So it's different ways to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the Dodgers have done similar to the Yankees. They've also developed. They've developed a really good nucleus of young players as well as young pitchers. They've done a really good job with that. I can't hate on them there because they might have paid a lot of people, but Bellinger is from the farm system. Seager is from the farm system. Clayton Kershaw is from their farm system.
Yeah.
Mostly all their pitchers have come from their farm system.
Right.
So you can't hate on them. Now
No,
they're
of
paying
course.
their
Yeah,
own,
yeah.
but they've also paid. They paid Mookie Betts. They've paid. They've paid a few players as well. So you can't. They've done it both ways, really.
Yeah.
That's impressive. Because I was like, I don't know anyone on this team. Then I saw what they were getting paid. I was like, I don't
That's
know
why.
anyone on this team.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I understand
Yeah.
why I know nobody on this team.
All right,
But that's
moving on
amazing.
to the NFL. A lot of great games yesterday, like we said, man. So we're going to talk about a lot of these games. A lot of injuries, too, man. There's injuries, like major injuries every week now, which it always catches us off guard, but I feel like it does happen every year.
Yeah.
Where you're just seeing these injuries, and, the healthiest team sometimes is the one that wins. Odell Beckham Jr., torn ACL yesterday. The reason I was saying earlier in the chat is Baker Mayfield's fault. He threw an interception that caused Odell Beckham Jr. to try to, run after the dude for the tackle and tore his ACL on that. So Baker Mayfield, you just injured
your best player.
Wow.
That's big news for the Browns, even bigger news for Odell Beckham Jr. He's starting to have a history of injuries now, but this is not good for him.
This is the bad one.
Yeah.
And especially at this point in your career, OBJ is at least 27, I'd say. So this is where you already are starting to see the decline in speed and those types of things. So now if you have a major injury on top of your other injuries, it is one of those things.
And they just started to make this horrible Browns organization look like a real legit football team.
Did they?
I mean, the Browns are 5-2, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, they were actually looking pretty good.
They still are.
I'm not saying they looking like Super Bowl contenders, but they don't look like the bad news Browns anymore. You know what I mean? The garbage trash. Oh, they're about to find another way to lose this game, Browns. You know what I mean? They were winning some games, exciting to watch. And now part of that excitement just tore his ACL. I mean, this is
unfortunate.
This sucks. Yeah,
unfortunate. Another receiver news: Antonio Brown signs with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Not fair, but at the same time, they've had cool chemistry so far this year. Obviously, Tom Brady likes him.
Yes.
He invited him to his house last year to stay there and different things like that.
When he went to
exactly when he went to New England. So obviously their relationship wasn't hindered by what happened.
Yeah.
I think Brown played one game for New England last year.
One in Miami. He literally at home, and then that was it.
And obviously Tom Brady has a relationship with him, because if he didn't, there's no way they would have ever had Tampa Bay sign him.
Yeah.
Surprising that nobody that caught a lot of people off guard. But if he pans out, and we've seen this a lot when players, when it's like you have no more chances anymore, and the player actually realizes that now, they could be very dangerous. And I think that's where Antonio Brown hopefully is.
Yeah.
I want to see him succeed. But Tampa Bay is already stacked back there.
Yeah. I mean,
they're just even more stacked.
They already
now.
have 3 receivers.
Yeah.
Like 3 good receivers. Now you got 4 wide, and all are problems.
Yeah.
That's scary. It can be. And Tom Brady, again, like I said, Tom Brady has a habit of continuing to look like Tom Brady with functional talent.
And I just want to pull up the Browns record real quick, because you guys said 5-2, which is right, but their wins are
who
they lost to the Ravens, lost to the Steelers, which are division games.
Divisions, yeah.
Right.
They beat the Bengals, the unnamed team, the Cowboys, the Colts, and the Bengals. So
they beat the Bengals twice?
Yeah.
Oh wow!
Well, I mean,
so they're 2-2.
So they really beat no good teams yet.
They're 2-2 in division, but both of the wins were against the Bengals. So I didn't realize that.
But last year they were losing to those teams, so
that's true.
They're still,
There's something, and you've said this, Quan. There's something to be said about you beat who's in front of you.
Yeah.
And so they're 2 losses. They're 2 losses.
Ravens 38-6.
Yeah.
Steelers 38-7.
Yeah, they got cracked both of those games. No, I mean,
when you weigh it all out, see the Browns are a very average team and lost their best wide receiver.
Very average is still a very big upgrade from where they been.
True.
Not really, because they were.
I don't know.
What was their record last year? I think they were. They were either 7-9 or 6-10. They weren't. Yeah,
they were still below 500.
Yeah,
you know what
I mean, listen, if the Browns right now are more than halfway to playoff wins.
Oh, they got an easy schedule too. There, they got the Raiders.
Yeah.
Texans, Eagles, Jags, Titans, not easy. Ravens, not easy. Giants, easy. Jets, easy. Steelers.
Oh, they got the Jets. So I think they have a shot. They have a shot.
All right, let's move on from the Browns.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Talking about them way too much.
Yeah.
I just wanted to go back and check their actual schedule. Tim Lane in the building. What's good, bro?
Hey, what's up, bro?
Going, Tim?
All right. Yesterday's games, Lions and the Falcons. Let's talk about this game.
Oh,
one of those mistakes being made by for the fantasy teams. Some people were happy about this, right?
No, this
there's
game
only
had
about
everything.
a minute and a half left. Less than a minute.
When it happened, it was less.
Yeah. So,
Steve, do you know what we're talking about?
Well, we're going to talk about it. Let me talk about it.
Fair enough. I was just
all right.
trying to get Steve up to
He'll
speed.
He'll listen because I'm getting I'm
watching it as he's talking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mike's including mine. All right.
Including mine.
None of us could talk. All right. So Todd Gurley, you just want to run out the clock, right? You get a field goal.
Down one.
You get a field goal, you win the game. So all you need to do, you have 3 seconds on the clock.
Kick the field goal.
Go
home.
You win the game. This is the Atlanta Falcons. So, folks, we've seen what they've been doing. They're starting to become a joke, and the joke just does not end. So Gurley runs the ball, tries to stop himself from getting the touchdown way too early, scores anyways. Falls right on the line.
The saddest attempt I've ever seen in my life.
Right on the line.
Oh, my God.
So they score. So now it's like, okay, you're still up. There's not a lot of time left. But now here comes the Lions.
I didn't see what I don't know about the situation is how many timeouts the Lions had when that happened.
I don't think they had that many, but they had at least enough to
still march,
to get down there a little bit. I mean,
yeah. See, that's crazy. That's crazy.
And just enough time. I mean, you 1 or 2 passes, you get right up there. They do need a touchdown to win, but you gave them an opportunity to win when all you had to do was run out the clock,
kick a field goal,
kick a field goal. Game's over.
Go home.
Go home. That's it. That's all you need to do. Detroit comes all the way back, marches down the field, ends up scoring a touchdown, wins the game with the extra point.
Yep.
They end up winning the game
by 1.
The Falcons are the Falcons. What are we going to do with this team?
Man, my thing was the Falcons players, they looked so dejected after the game. Because literally, so at the very end, I can't remember if it was a penalty or something, but something happened and the Lions were able to have 2 seconds left on the clock with, I think they were maybe at the 15 or 12 or somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm.
And so the Falcons are like, we're going to get this. Everybody's amped up. Matthew Stafford almost gets sacked. He breaks free, rolls to his left. The man that almost sacked him gets up. He's running as hard. If you watch it in slow motion, he's running as hard as he can to try and just do anything he can.
Yeah.
And then the ball gets released. And if you watch it from the backward angle and you see the guy that was trying to get the sack, all you see is he's just before the man catches it.
Before
the dude doesn't even catch it. He hasn't caught it yet, but he just sees he's open. And he's
as soon as the pass is thrown, he puts his hands on his head, oh my God.
It's for that, I feel horrible for the Falcons because the guys care and they want to win. It's not as if they they're just going through the motions. Because sometimes football teams, they look like they're going through it. They want to win.
Well, they have good players. It's not like they have a horrible team when you look at their roster. They have good players.
Jeez.
It sucks for them, but for us, it's hilarious.
Hilarity is
I'm at the point where I don't want them to win any close games anymore.
It's horrible.
Wow. So, other game we talked about, Browns beat the Bengals. Burrow's still looking really good. 406 yards, 3 touchdowns. They just can't close out games. The Bengals have been right there at the end of almost every game of the season. They just can't close it out. So, listen, man, no matter how bad they are this year, there's so much to look forward to in Joe Burrow and this team going into the future.
And the good thing, though, with them being terrible, well, not terrible, with them losing all these close games, if they mess around and get a top 2, 3, 4 pick again, and you are able to then put some real pieces around that man, they're going to be a problem.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, how did they become a problem so fast? Well, they weren't that bad.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They were right on the fringe of bad.
They just kept beating themselves.
Yeah.
We almost had another choke yesterday. The Steelers were up by 3 touchdowns against the Titans. Titans come all the way back and then miss the field goal at the end of the regulation to tie it up, going to overtime.
Wow.
It's going to be good. They're going to complete their comeback. And Titans lose it. It was 2 undefeated teams. They were both 5-0 at the time. That's a hard loss for the Titans.
Mm-hmm.
And their kicker's already been missing some,
Gostkowski almost cost him that game before and ended up winning it at the buzzer.
Denver, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the Denver game where he missed 2 or 3 field goals. This is how you have crosses burned on your lawn. This is how this happens. These are ways that this happens, especially in Tennessee.
Wow.
We don't like your kind around here. You got to get out.
Wow.
It's not good. It's not
Wow.
good. It can happen.
That was a really good game, though. Great
it has.
comeback. Great comeback by the Titans, but man, I wanted because I wanted to see them do it. Saints beat the Panthers, another close game.
That was a good game. That was back and forth the whole way.
Jets were up 10-0 on the Bills. I was getting ready to go off.
You were so excited.
I was getting ready to go
bro,
crazy.
The Bills are going to win.
I wasn't that excited. Listen,
you were excited.
No,
You're like,
stop. I was not excited.
Someone
I really
in
don't
this
care.
chat group
No, I said if the Jets win, if the Jets win. But but here's the thing: the fact that the Bills barely beat the Jets and we're even down 10-0 against the Jets says a lot about them. I think they're probably the most overrated team right now.
Oh no,
in the league.
No,
definitely
don't do that.
Most overrated team in the league. This is the Bills. We've seen this before. They'll go 5-0 and then lose 7 in a row.
Don't wish that evil on them, Ricky Bobby.
On the Bills?
Don't wish
I don't
that
care
on
about the
Dave.
Bills.
Don't wish it on Dave. Don't wish
I'm
it
not
on
wishing on Dave.
On that fan base. That fan base has been through enough.
Whatever.
It's like my fan base. Let them have their cake.
Nope.
Hey.
Overrated team.
Cake.
Overrated team. We'll see. We'll see. Packers beat the Texans. The Bucks came to Vegas and destroyed the Raiders. Listen, Raiders didn't get hardly any practice time because their whole O-line was on COVID protocol.
They sure did.
They were doing practice on Zoom.
I can't with you. They were.
No, they really were.
I know they were.
Wow.
I remember reading that.
So you're not getting, it's hard when you're playing an offense like that, or you're playing a defense like that. Tampa Bay is too good to not be able to have a practice. They should have said that we all got COVID to maybe push this game back.
Yeah.
So they would have been able to, but
we need more time.
Yeah.
And this was actually supposed to be the Sunday night game. They have moved it because they didn't want to cancel a Sunday night game. So they moved it, which actually, and we'll get into the Sunday night game soon because they made a good decision because the Sunday night game was great. Chiefs destroyed the Broncos.
They beat the brakes off the Broncos.
I
was so happy that Tyreek was able to stagger his way into that end zone for my fantasy points. It was a rough game.
And then one of my boys tagged me in a post today, said that Dallas flew all the way to D.C. to kick a field goal.
Yeah, they did.
Just one.
25-3. Were they up? Were they up 3-0?
No.
So they never led in the game.
We were up 9-0.
Okay, so
and
9-3 after the first, and then they didn't score again.
Yeah, and then basically, and the only reason they even got that field goal was because they had a 60-yard kick return.
Yeah,
they got down there and they went 3 and out, and it was just close enough that Zerline. I mean, he still Greg the leg, so he kicked the field goal. It was like a 50-yard.
All right, and Dak's already out for the season.
Oof.
I'm not sure today what they're saying about
Andy?
Redhead, Andy Dalton.
Andy got popped.
He slid,
hey,
but that was a little bit of a dirty play.
Tough break.
It was helmet to helmet on the slide.
It wasn't helmet to helmet. It was shoulder. It was his shoulder. His helmet was lowered, but his shoulder actually is what hit him. After I finally watched it 37 million times.
And can you please say hi to Armando because he's been in the chat group saying your name 4 or 5 times.
Tell Armando, what up, Armando? Hope all is well, brother. Hope you're doing well. miss seeing you for all the fights.
Wrong Armando.
Wait, wrong Armando? Oh, other Armando. How's Florida? Stay safe, no hurricanes. That's my fault. But he said wrong Armando.
Because I knew what you were getting at.
Well, you gotta tell me it's not my fight fan Armando. That's our guy. Miss seeing him in all the UFC fights. But yeah, Andy Dalton. The second he got hit, I was like, he out the game. He got hit. He rolled over on his face, and I was like, yeah, they can't. Put him back
he looked like radio for a second.
Move on off my game.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
Oh no! But the funniest part was, he was twitched out. He was twitched out. No, the funniest part about it though really was I really had to figure out who the Cowboys
third string.
Who their emergency quarterback? Because remember they're already on third string. So it was like, who's their emergency quarterback?
Wow.
Because
it was Tony Romo.
He had to come down from the booth.
Tony, come out the booth. Ready to go.
Don't get hit on that collarbone though. The doctor said they gotta take your arm if you break your collarbone again. The whole arm just has to come off.
But you're at a place where you're right there in the division. 2-5.
2-5. We're tied for second. But we have the tiebreaker on the Cowboys.
Here's the funny thing, and I said this 2 weeks ago, and I'm going to say it every week. That tie game that Philly had might be the division win.
That might be the tiebreaker.
Wow.
That's terrible.
That's crazy.
Daggone Bengals just couldn't get the victory. Jeez.
Man.
Anyway, we'll see. We'll see.
Do you want them to win the division if they've won 5 games?
Sure.
So you'd be cool with them win the division. You don't want them to tank.
No, I don't want them to tank because then it's well. All right, I'll put it to you this way.
Steve has an hour and 10-minute bladder, by the way.
It's set on stun.
Every time.
It doesn't matter. I don't care if he has had a drink, hasn't had a drink. He's gonna.
My
go
alarm
to the
goes off at 1:48. His bladder goes off at 2:28.
Bladder goes at 2:30 without fail. But yeah, I mean, if we do keep winning, then they can't. It's no longer a tank for Trevor and all this other stuff. So you can't really go get your quarterback if that's the case. You don't want to go get a mid-round quarterback in the first round. So possibly Haskins has another go, but I don't know. I don't know how to feel. I just know I'm happy that they beat the Cowboys. We'll reset our emotions on a weekly
No, and that's
basis.
the thing. Like sometimes you want to tank, but it's like I do, but I want to beat this team. I want to beat my rivals.
I want to beat the Cowboys. I'd like to beat the Eagles again, and the Giants definitely have to get beaten. If you win those 3 games, we're up to 5 games. You never know.
49ers went into New England 33-6. They totally dominated New England.
That was absolutely disgusting.
Dominated the ball. The time of possession is not even funny. Got an injury. Jeff Wilson got hurt after scoring 3 touchdowns. He should be on my fantasy team, Todd. 3 touchdowns, 112 yards. Ends up hurting. I'm not sure the prognosis today on his leg, but he got hurt. But 33-6. Cam Newton gets pulled in the 3rd for Stidham. Cam is afraid that he might have lost his job yesterday. What do you think?
Well, Belichick right after the game said that Cam's still the quarterback. So Belichick at least helped it. And you know Belichick doesn't usually say much of anything. So for him to say that at least helps to instill some confidence. So Cam can
sometimes you pull the quarterback because, look, this game's done. There's no reason to be out there.
Yeah.
We don't need you to get hurt. We don't need you to throw any more picks to kill your confidence even more.
We don't need you to contract COVID for a 3rd time. Like, just all those things.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, Cam hasn't played the best, but he hasn't played poorly, I don't think. For whatever reason, New England they haven't been clicking.
And they were earlier, and then they had the whole COVID outbreak,
and it's
had to miss a week, and it has messed them up. These are the things we're seeing. There's actually a player, I think, for the Jags. He's been hospitalized twice.
Yeah, no, and he's done.
And so he's out for the year.
He's done for the year because he's in the hospital with COVID.
Wow.
And this is the second time. So he's, so listen, these are the repercussions that are happening during this time. Like, if you still want to play, these are the things we're going through.
Yeah.
Like we just said with the Raiders too. They were doing Zoom training.
Zoom practice calls.
Yeah. So
wow.
All right, Chargers and Jags, that was the good afternoon game. All the other games were pretty much blowouts. Justin Herbert, Matt, listen, this dude is great. We have some great young quarterbacks in the league this year.
Yeah.
347 yards, 3 touchdowns. Sometimes he gets a little wild. Sometimes the ball just goes somewhere it shouldn't, but still young.
He's pretty dialed
And then there's
in.
some other times where it just lands right in the dude's hands where it doesn't look like he should catch it. I like him a lot, man.
Yeah.
I like him and Burrows a lot.
I cheer for him. I cheer for Joe Burrow. They're both exciting quarterbacks to watch. They were quarterbacks I actually did watch in college, so a lot of these guys I never really saw. So when they get in the NFL, it's like, oh, okay, people talked about you. But we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yep.
I like.
But both of you guys were staring off in the distance side.
No,
I was looking at the computer screen.
Joe Herbert is. To me, he's
Joe Herbert.
Joe Herbert?
Joe Herbert.
My bad.
Justin Burrow.
Justin Burrow. Joe Herbert.
Justin Burrow.
Who the heck is Joe Herbert?
I don't know.
Justin Burrow.
Sounds like an ice cream flavor.
Can I get the Joe Herbert?
That's that new Ben and Jerry.
Would you like that in strawberry and vanilla or strawberry and chocolate?
He's Willie beaming to me.
I want it in Sherbert is what I want. That's what I wanted.
He's exciting to watch. I think a lot of the mistakes.
One, Burrow or Herbert?
Burrow.
Okay.
A lot of his wild passes and stuff, I write it off as just him being a rookie. I think next season he'll be better. Probably the season after that.
Who's Burrow play for?
Chargers. No, who are we talking? No,
we were talking about Justin Herbert.
Justin Herbert,
we messed you up. With,
y'all
with
messed me up. I'm talking about Herbert.
He knew that you meant Herbert.
Yeah,
and he got you to say Burrow, and then I was like, man, he ain't talking about Burrow.
No, I'm just trying to see if he knows who he's talking about.
Burrow plays for the Bengals.
Yes.
Justin Herbert plays for the Chargers.
Who did Joe Montana play for, Steve?
Joe Montana.
Joe Montana.
Who's this a picture of, Steve?
Play for the. God, leave me alone, man.
He's the best linebacker I've ever seen.
This is Lamar Mahomes.
Lamar Mahomes. Oh my
anyway,
goodness.
I think he's a rookie. Next couple of years he'll be great.
Yeah.
Who, Burrow or Herbert?
Both. Shoot.
Both. Yeah.
Truthfully.
But honestly, Joe Burrow. I think
you throw dirt on my man.
I think Joe Burrow is better right now. Like
really?
Yeah. To me, he just looks like he's been there before. But I think both of them in the next 2 years will be leading quarterbacks in the NFL. They'll be some of the best. You know what I mean? Like they'll be those. Those two will be in the
Brady,
top 10.
The Brady and
right.
Whoa,
on their way to that level. I don't think he's going to be
Brady.
I think so.
Brady's 43, still dominating. You guys got to settle down.
No.
I'm saying they'll be
in the next
growing.
In the next 2 years. Brady, Breeze, a lot of those guys are going to hopefully start to retire. And so by that point, who has the league? And it's really going to be these guys.
I think that these two guys will be top 10 quarterbacks in the next 2 years or so, 2 to 3 years. Yeah. I'm not saying he's going to be Tom Brady in 2 years.
No,
I'm saying
he'll be looking on that kind of trajectory.
Yeah. That's all I'm saying. Goodness. You think I called him Joe Montana or something? Man.
No, you called him Joe Herbert. Cardinals, great game last night. Great Sunday night game. Flipping back and forth between baseball and the NFL because I was not here at the studio to watch all of them on my 3 TVs. Thank you guys once again.
Multiple monitors.
Appreciate it. This was a great game. Seattle had the lead the whole game. Arizona's first lead was in overtime to win the game by 3. They came back, man. It almost feels like you're watching the same quarterback on each side. They resemble each other so
micro
much.
Guys.
Little micro quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Little micro machines. But this is one of the, it's a division game for me, so I want both teams to lose. I was really hoping it was going to end in a tie.
You could take the tie. I'll take the tie.
Yeah, but at the same time, it was good Seattle lost because that gives one loss up there. So hopefully, we can
it slowed the top of the division down for everybody. Truthfully.
Exactly. And then the Rams play tonight. But talk to us about this game, man. How'd you like it?
Man, the Seahawks and the Cardinals game, like you said, both those quarterbacks, we talked about it, I want to say on Thursday. It's going to be exciting. You knew that game wasn't going to be a snooze fest simply because the quarterbacks weren't going to allow it. My favorite moment of the whole game is DK Metcalf running down what could have been the pick 6 of the game to win it, forcing them to have to play it out. That
fast.
play. Oh yeah,
he's fast.
He showed off the 4-3 wheels on that play. But for me, that play showed who Seattle is right now. That even when all else fails, you still are gonna have to take the long road against them. There's not gonna be any shortcuts. There's not gonna be any passes where it's like, oh, okay, we're just gonna give it up this game.
Yeah,
you're gonna have to play this thing out.
Yeah,
and for that, I tip my hat to him, man. That was some Darryl Green on Monday Night Football stuff right there.
Hey,
I think that's what everybody wants to see from every team is just you play till the clock runs out.
Yeah,
don't end the game because he's gone. Like, nah, you're gonna have to earn this.
Yeah.
Like, you're not about to jog the final 10 yards into the end zone. You finna full sprint the whole field. You know what I mean?
You better Daniel Jones keep your feet.
You better keep it together the whole way. I mean,
all right, let's go over the division leaders real quick. Buffalo is leading the AFC East. Looks like they won't have any problems winning that division at least.
They should be okay.
And I want to talk about this real quick because Patriots are 2-4. And Tom Brady's team is
4-2.
5-2.
Well, 5-2 now, yeah.
5-2. So the whole thing, you know, it obviously it's early, but the whole thing was, can Brady do it without Belichick? And now we're seeing without Brady what New England is, and without Belichick, Brady's still Brady, and looks a little better too. I mean, he looks a lot better this year than he did last year. Obviously, he has a lot more weapons.
Got weapons.
Right. He has a lot more weapons, but
yeah.
That's something New England always prided themselves on. Like, we'll create weapons out of the players we have.
That's true.
Was that fair for Tom Brady? You know, Tom Brady's one of the best quarterbacks of all time.
Yeah.
Was that fair to always have him make these weapons instead of bringing the weapons in?
Create turds,
because we see what he's doing with the weapons right now.
Yeah,
they look. This team looks really good.
He showed what he did with the weapons when he had them in New England. The 1 year he had Randy Moss.
Oh gosh,
daggone 50 touchdowns. Like, so you know what he can do with weapons. If he has them, especially if they are high level weapons, not like, you know, oh, okay, he's good for them in their system. No, he's good for anybody in anybody's system.
He is the system. He's the system.
He is a system breaker. It does not matter what you do. You know what I mean? And so, I like I said from the beginning, and Kareem was, Tom Brady's fading. I'm like, look, man, that man's still Tom Brady.
Yeah, he's looking really good right now.
It's hard to claim Tom Brady's fallen off when he has no one around him, and he's forced to move off his spot. That's never been his game.
Tom Brady has been in the league about 20 years.
Yeah.
So what year did he take a bunch of beatings? You know what I mean? He's never been that quarterback who's like, oh man, he's getting sacked 4 times a game. Like he's never taken that abuse.
Yeah.
So
got his leg broke, but
he's one time, right? Yeah. So there's one injury, right? You know what I mean? And for a football player, there's not been a long list of, okay, Tom Brady is missing this many games because of XYZ.
Outside of suspension.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Outside of suspension. Right. You know, he got a little extra rest even. Yeah. You know what I mean? So he's been healthy. So to me, it makes sense that, he's still got it.
Yeah.
He's old, but he hasn't been
He's never really
hit.
been.
You know what I mean? He's been in good shape.
Mm-hmm.
His wife's got him on that vegan diet. Probably on the marijuana.
Keeping him in good shape.
Man, he's going to be playing
Can't be
forever, bro.
In the NFL. All right, AFC North, Pittsburgh Steelers are leading that undefeated team out there.
And then in Baltimore's one.
Baltimore's 5-1.
Yeah, they only lost the one.
Yep. Yeah. Settle down, Steve. AFC South, Tennessee, they're 5-1 to lead that division. In the NFC, the Eagles at 2-4-1 are leading the NFC East. Tragic. Bears play tonight. They're 5-1, leading the NFC North, and they play.
The Bears are still up at number 1. I didn't realize they've only lost that one game.
Yeah. Packers are 5-1 also.
Oh, okay.
So it's right there. NFC South, Tampa Bay at 5-2. NFC West, the best division in football. Seattle 5-1. Every team is over 500 in the AFC West right now. The Rams play tonight. Take that, LLA.
Who are they playing tonight?
The Bears.
Oh.
In LA. Mm-hmm. I think that's going to be a really good game.
That actually is going to be a good
game.
That
kind of might even show where the Rams are and where the Bears are. I think this is a really good game to kind of.
It's definitely a judgment game for both those teams, truthfully, because to your point right now, the Bears are the number 1 seed in their division. They take the loss. Yeah. They drop behind the Packers. The Rams, this is to keep pace because the Rams have lost twice, right?
Yeah, Rams are 4-2.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so this would be a good game for them as well to go to 5-2.
Who did they lose to last week, Steve?
I don't remember.
Oh, well, your camera went off, so figure it out.
Yeah.
49ers.
I don't know.
I don't remember that game.
I do not recall.
Yeah.
What happened to Steve's camera?
It's back.
It's back now.
Camera's racist.
Wow.
No, it didn't like your scarf, Steve.
All right, I had trivia. We don't have time, though. But we will be back on Thursday for more Unnamed Sports Show. Make sure you tune in. Check us out. Download the Gorilla Cross app to watch all of our shows on Gorilla Cross Radio. Up next is Kicking It with Tim Lane. We're going to be getting on live with him at 3 o'clock, so make sure you guys tune back in for Kicking It with Tim Lane on the Gorilla Cross Radio Network. Streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, everywhere, man. We're everywhere. We do have some interviews coming up. I know we have some UFC fighters we're going to be getting back on.
Exciting times.
Maybe some NBA players. Who knows? Who knows who's going to be coming through the studio in the next month or two? You know what I'm saying? But
keep tuning in.
Stay locked in with us, folks. We appreciate it. Download the app. Peace.